We searched for a man named Jim Sonnett. And the legends folks tell may be true. Most call him gunman and killer. He's my son, who I hardly knew. I raised Jim's boy from the cradle. Till the day he said to me, I have to go find my father. And I reckoned that's how it should be. So we ride, Jim's boy and me. Yeah, it's a mighty big herd.
Yeah, they look well cared for, too, huh? Not too many drovers with them, Grandpa. Maybe we can get us a job, huh?
No. I think we better turn west after we hit Sampson. Chances is they're going all the way north to Abilene.
Looks like we got some visitors. Still wouldn't hurt to ask about a job, Grandpa. We could sure use it.
Howdy.
What are you two doing here?
Well, we were just looking at them critters.
I wouldn't get too close if I was you. Down in Texas, we get kind of edgy when we see strangers eyeing our herd.
Well, I can't say as I blame you much. You got a lot of untrustworthy folks down that way these days.
Move on, old man.
Well, now that just happens to be our intention, young fella. But if it weren't, I just might be asking to see your badge.
Oh, I'm wearing it. On my hip.
Oh? Funny, I got one of these, too. I never did call it a badge, though.
I'm sorry. I reckon we made a mistake.
Well, that's a man's right.
You had to come down and have some supper with us?
Nope, I never could hold a fork and this gun at the same time. I reckon we'll just push on to Sampson.
Oh, you're heading for Morg Grahamstown, are you?
That's right. I'm an old friend of Morg's.
Small world. We'll be camping outside Sampson come tomorrow afternoon. You might tell Morg that.
I might if I knowed who you was.
Just tell him you ran into Lank Turner's outfit.
I see. I'll do that, Jeff.
Want to go after him, Lank? We can take him.
No, not now. We'll handle him when we get to Sampson. Same time we handle Sheriff Morg Graham.
Morg ain't out making his rounds.
Let's go on over to the office, Grandpa. I'll put up the horses and get us a room at the hotel, huh?
I want you to meet him, too.
Well, look, you and him's got a lot of catching up to do. I'll meet him later on.
All right, boy. See you at the hotel.
Okay.
How long you planning on staying?
Oh, not sure. 1 day, 2 at the most. Oh, Grandpa.
You get us a room?
Well, yes, sir.
How much, young lady?
$2.
$2.
Well, Grandpa, I said it was all right.
Oh?
Would you see your friend?
No, he's indisposed. I'll see him later. Where is the room?
Top of the stairs and to the right.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be comfortable.
Thank you.
Mom! Why, you old son of a gun.
Well, you old saddle tramp, how are you?
Fine, fit as a fiddle. Say, Morgan, why don't you meet my grandson, Jeff? This here is one of the legends up around Bent's Fort, Morgan Braham.
How do, Mr. Braham?
Good to meet you, Jeff. Fine-looking boy, Will.
Why, of course he is. He comes from my pasture, don't he?
When'd you get in town?
Oh, just a while ago. I heard down south you was sheriff in here, so since we was heading this way, I thought we just swung around and drop in for a spell.
Well, this calls for a drink.
Odd stuff. No need. We still got some coffee here. Why don't you join us, Morg, huh?
You go ahead, Grandpa. I feel like getting a little air anyway.
All right.
Goodbye, Jeff.
See you.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about. Come on now. Add 2 whiskeys.
Well, well.
How long has it been?
Oh, at least 20 years, Morg. Just after my son James left me. Yeah, that's his boy. James sent him to me for raising.
Well, he sure looks like James. I hope he doesn't use a gun the same way. What brings you here, Will? I heard you'd settle down.
No, we're looking for James.
Oh.
You see, the boy ain't never met his pa. He feels he needs to. Now, I figure the only thing I can do to help him is try to find him.
Well. Luck, Will.
To you, Morg. No more for me. How long you been here, Morg?
3, going on 4 years. Before that, Ellsworth, Dodge for time. Oh, maybe 10 other towns before that.
Still one for excitement, huh?
No, Will. No more.
What do you mean?
This is my last town. I just got no gumption. Travel on.
Well, we're getting old, you and me, Morg.
Not bad. Will, there's something gone inside of me. Always before, I'd do my job, and, well, if I got so I didn't like the job, well, I'd just move on to another place. Now, well,
James, stay here?
I've got to stay here. I cleaned up this place. I just got no desire left in me to clean up another. I gotta stay here. And I gotta do whatever the men who run this town tell me to do.
What's bothering you, Morg?
I gotta ask you how long you're staying. If you say more than one night, I gotta order you to move on. Will, you savvy what I'm saying? I gotta ask you to move on.
Well, this ain't the first town that's been wary of us, Sonnett.
Never expected from me, though, did you?
No, Morg. I never did. But like you say, it ain't your wish. It's the bidding of the folks you work for. We'll be leaving in the morning. That's for the meal.
Will.
Talk ain't going to help. I understand the way things are. And talking's just going to eat you up inside, that's all. The same as that stuff's been doing.
Grandpa?
We're going to look at it.
Yes, sir. Oh, you tell the sheriff about those men we met?
Oh, there was some Texas drovers said to tell you that they'd be camping outside here tomorrow afternoon.
Texas herd?
That's right. An outfit run by a man by the name of Lank something or other.
Lank Turner.
That's it. Morg, it's been good seeing you. I mean that. And the last thing I want to do is cause you any concern. So long, Morg.
Well,
So long, Sheriff.
bye. Ed. Ed, bring me a bottle, a full one.
We better stop by the store and get us some grub, huh, Grandpa?
We'll stop at the next town. We get enough to carry us over.
Mr. Sonnett,
Mr. Sonnett, I'm glad I caught you.
Well, maybe I'm glad and maybe I ain't. What's on your mind?
Would you come over to the sheriff's office? It's Morg Brown. He accidentally shot himself.
Shot himself?
That was a fool accident. Figured my rifles needed cleaning. I got to check the chamber on one.
That is foolish.
Well, the point is, Mr. Sonnett, Morg can't use his gun arm. Like Turner and his outfit's expected in here this afternoon. This town needs protecting.
I see.
I have the authority to pay you and your grandson $50 apiece to let Morg here deputize you until he's well enough to take over again.
Or until we're shot down in your streets? Ain't that right, mister?
Lank Turner's not a bad man. He's just a wild Texan. Needs to be stood up to.
Then why don't you and some of your friends stand up to him?
We're not gunmen.
But you figure we are, huh? What do you think, Jeff?
It's up to you, Grandpa.
We take the job.
Fine. That's just fine.
Jeff, why don't you go put up the horses? I'll stay here and talk to Morg a bit.
All right.
Mr. Sonnett, I can't tell you how grateful we are.
Well, don't. Don't tell me nothing. We'll guard your town, but don't tell us how to do it and how grateful you are that we're doing it. Doc, do you mind leaving us alone for a minute?
No. I'm all through anyway.
Arm hurt?
Bit.
Where'd you keep your deputy badges?
Middle drawer.
Morg, I got me a horse ranch up in Wyoming, near Rawlins. It's up for sale. But I left the papers with the storekeeper in Rawlins. Now, I doubt if he's found a buyer yet. I could write you a note to that storekeeper. He turned the place over to you.
No, well...
What do you mean, no? You said you was too tired to tame another town. You're still man enough to tame a bronc, ain't you? And you'll be your own boss up there.
Well... You know about this, don't you? And why'd you say yes?
Well, maybe I figured I owed you one, Morg. You and me once ran into a war party up the Bighorn Way, remember?
More than once.
True. But this one time I wanted to turn tail and run. You said no. You said we'd powwow with them. I still wanted to run. You said, all right. You'd do it alone. You headed straight for him, and the sound of your horse pounded heavy on my innards. You know, a man can run, but he's got to take his shaking innards along with him. And they ain't all that pleasant to live around. What kind of a man is this Lank Turner?
Bully?
So's a lot of men. The point is he bully first and cattleman second, or t'other way around?
Well, from what I hear, he started with a small herd. Building in one of the biggest spreads in East Texas.
That takes a hard-working businessman. A man like that don't have time to indulge in a bully manner. No, I figure him as a... Uh-oh. Company.
They coming?
They're here. A whole herd of them, and they're well-heeled. Take good care of that arm, Morg. In a minute.
Hello, old man. You put on weight.
I reckon. You boys ride in here for supper?
That we did.
Well, the sheriff ain't feeling so good. He sent us out here to make sure you boys wasn't a wanting.
He's ailing, is he? That figures. You tell him we're going to bust up his town. We're going to bust it up good, and he's going to have to stop us. Todd! Bert! And you go tell the sheriff I hired me 2 men down Texas way. 2 men named Bob Todd and Al Burns. And you tell the sheriff he's got wanted posters on both these men right here in Kansas.
Uh-huh. Lang Turner, you're a polecat. You know better than to ride in here and start trouble yourself, so you hire 2 gunnies you know the sheriff has got to go after.
You just carry the message, old man. I don't give a hoot for your figuring.
Oh, you better, because I got you figured right down to your bootstops, cowboy. I got you figured as a businessman first and an ornery critter second.
Huh?
And that's why I sent 3 townsmen out with shotguns to hold up near your herd.
I don't follow you, old-timer.
Oh, you do and you will. Unless you get on back and start that herd moving north in 1 hour, those 3 men I sent out there is going to ride into them, shooting the shotguns and stampeding them back down the trail. It'll take you 2 days to round them up. And the pounds they'll run off is going to cost you plenty once you get them late to market.
Hey, boss, you ain't gonna listen to him, are you?
Shut up. Ain't your cattle, ain't your money. I can hire you and Burns to come along for $100. From what he says, I could lose close to $5,000.
Just for satisfying an ornery nature. A man who can gather a herd of Texas Mavericks is too smart for that, I'll wager. Well, mister, it's your money and it's your play.
I'm throwing my chips into this pot, too, Will.
Well, mister,
This ain't my game. I'm a cattleman. 1 minute. Too alongside you want in Kansas. I'm obliged to arrest those men.
No, wait just a minute. Blank, you hired us to tree this town along with your boys.
My boys are going back to work.
And you're leaving us?
We're leaving.
Oh, no. Burns, now.
I reckon the sheriff is satisfied, Mr. Cattleman. And I reckon you'll be, too, once you get that herd back to Abilene. Boy, you get the doc, then help them 2 wounded men off to jail, huh? Gun shaking a mite, Morg.
It is. But my innards, well, they ain't.
I knew you wouldn't let us down, Morg. I just knew it.
Well, you mentioned something about your place in Wyoming.
That I did. And I got that note right here. Now, maybe I'll see you there one day, Morg.
Wyoming? You gotta stay here, Morg, to keep the town clear of such as these. No offense. We all like Morg here. He'd be a fool to leave now.
Well, he'll leave this town now or he'll never leave. And the man I used to know always made his move before he found himself in a spot where he couldn't move. Maybe that's why I only pick a man like that for a sidekick. No brag, just fact.
For the way my father acted.
How do you mean?
When he needed you, he was all smiles. Now,
Well,
that's not the way I feel. I want you to know that. I don't go along with my father, or this town, or the way folks been acting.
look, what your father done was act the natural way. He loves you. He wants what's best for you. Now, if you knew how many times I wish for a natural father, to be there, and to be acting in a natural way, well, anyways, don't you be blaming him for the way folks are. I thank you for your kindness.
Mighty pretty girl.
Mighty pretty girl. She's awful young.
We have to keep on riding, Lord, to find the one we seek. But we helped a man in need today and commend him to your keep.